What's going on, Ohio Cannabis Report community? It's your boy Gerald Moore Jr. coming to you guys with a late night episode. Obviously, it's Sunday, but just wanted to say happy Juneteenth to all of those who celebrate. Obviously, being a black man in America, we understand that we still have a lot of hills and hurdles to overcome. But this is a platform where we will uh, dive into some of those intersectional conversations of racism, of slavery, of prohibition, incarceration, all of the different socioeconomic issues that face our communities. Because one, cannabis sits at the intersection of a lot of issues, especially social issues that we deal with in present day America. So just wanted to start on that. Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Hope you guys are having, I don't think it's summer yet, but summertime hopefully is going well for you all. It's been hot. We've had a couple days of um reduced heat, so we do appreciate that. Hope you guys are having a safe and blessed and healthy summer. Obviously, I know there's people with children. I have children, so I've been pretty busy myself. That's why you haven't seen a ton of content coming from us, recently because, I've been tired and I've been with my babies. So, um, but I do want to catch you guys up on some of the content and information and things that have been going on throughout the state of Ohio when it comes to the cannabis community, the cannabis industry. Obviously, if you have any tips, please send those tips to ohiocannabisreport@gmail.com. If you want to partner, if you want to collaborate, you can send all information to those platforms. If you want me to come and be at any events, whether that's educational, uh, table, just sharing information about what's going on in the state of Ohio when it comes to cannabis policies in the industry, I'm more than willing to come out to events to speak to people or do forums or Zooms or whatever guys people want to do virtually. If it's in person, obviously, if it's manageable, doable, I'll do my best to try to make it happen. Um, so yeah, let me. Oh yeah. Also, make sure you like, comment, follow us, subscribe, all that good stuff for social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, TikTok. We have a Substack where we do some articles and blogs. Um, I try to hit a lot of different spaces. Also, if you want to partner with us, if you want to collaborate with us, if you want to work with us, if you want to be a guest on the show, please reach out and let me know. Um, because we love having different people on the show. So, again, with no further ado, let me get to my notes real quick. All right, so just some headlines to wrap up the week. Big headline this week was obviously a federal judge blocks enforcement of SB 56 hemp drink ban temporarily. The U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Helmick, Northern District of Ohio, issued a temporary restraining order on June 15th, 2026, blocking enforcement of Ohio's hemp restrictions in SB 56 against the plaintiff companies, lasting 14 days and barring criminal, civil, administrative, or regulatory enforcement action while these cases proceed. The order covers 10 hemp beverage companies, 420 Beverages, Your Highness, Opportunity, Saucy Stelzer, Appalachian Girls, Modern Distribution, Niche Beverage, The Hemp Collective, Slightly Elevated, Mellow Fellow, and Muffins. Helmick found the plaintiffs are likely to succeed on their dormant commerce clause claim because SB 56 actively requires hemp products to be sourced and distributed only within Ohio. Number two, the temporary relief, permanent confusion, patchwork enforcement on the ground. Urban Artifacts and the 9 other companies sued 96 Ohio county and municipal prosecutors' offices, arguing SB 56's hemp license scheme is unconstitutional. But the relief is narrow. The order only stops enforcement for the named plaintiffs, leaving other breweries like 50 West and Limbo unable to sell the same products their plaintiff competitors now legally can. The TRO expires June 29th unless extended. Number three, the AG Attorney General, Dave Yost, who obviously is retiring from the Attorney General. Cartel case against 9 MSOs move forward. Attorney General Dave Yost antitrust lawsuit accuses 9 major multi-state operators of anti-competitive practices against independent operators, stemming from an October 2024 tip alleging senior company reps struck deals in late 2022 to prioritize each other's products while squeezing out smaller competitors via shelf space quotas. Named defendants uh, include Ascend AYR, Cannabis, Cresco, Curaleaf, Green Thumb Industries, Juicy, True Relieve, and Verano. The case is the first state attorney general enforcement action targeting alleged anti competitive conduct in the cannabis industry. Fourth headline, repeal referendum officially dead. The Ohioans for Cannabis Choice campaign did not collect enough signatures to land its proposed SB 56 repeal referendum on the ballot for November. Number five, 1 month checkup on SB 56's impact. Ohio's cumulative cannabis sales topped $3 billion since medical sales began in 2019, even as the restrictions reshaped the retail landscape 1 month into full implementation. Context worth tying back to the Social Equity Fund SB 56 eliminated. Obviously, that's a lot of money and resources that could have gone back to communities with that SB 56 removed. So that is something that obviously is still top of mind because, again, some of us live in communities, many of us live in communities that, are struggling with budgets. We're struggling with roads, education, resources, opportunities. And so that social equity money and the jobs funding was supposed to go directly into communities with dispensaries. So now that 36% of revenue now goes to the state for the state to be able to pick and choose what they want to do with it. So again, let me know. This is going to be a short episode, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, we do have a podcast. So if you listen to podcasts, make sure you go to the Ohio Cannabis Report on pretty much any podcasting platform. And you can check out some of our content. We will be updating more content on there soon. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about those stories. Again, it's still legal to grow cannabis in the state of Ohio. If you have 2 adults in a home, you can grow up to 12 plants. Must be in a locked space, so kids can't get to it. Must be, if you're going to do it outdoors, must be, locked behind a fence. Public consumption is now illegal in the state of Ohio. Consuming in your car is illegal. Only place to legally consume cannabis is in the privacy of your home. SB 56 did give probable cause to police. So if they assume or think that you smell like weed, they can now interrogate you, give you a fine, criminal penalty. If you are living in an apartment or renting, your landlord can also put it in your contract prohibiting you from growing cannabis or consuming cannabis in the home. Your employers can now drug test you. If you fail a drug test for your employer, they can opt out of giving you unemployment benefits. So SB 56 really messed up a lot of things for a lot of people. Obviously, if you're middle class or you're high business class, you may not have to worry about being drug tested, right? So there's just a lot of different nuances when it comes to SB 56. They basically said you can have the weed, but you got to use it with, in this confined box, which essentially a lot of people were doing pre-legalization. So basically it's just don't get caught again, right? Traveling across state lines, now a state criminal offense. A lot of people say, well, that was already a criminal penalty. Yes, it was. Cannabis is still federally illegal, even with moving to Schedule 3. Cannabis is still criminally illegal at the federal level. So if you travel up to Michigan, you bring weed back, you get caught, fine, criminal penalties, even if it was legally purchased. So again, just be safe, be smart. If you're going to drive around with weed, now they can pop you with open container. So make sure the weed is just out of sight, back of your in the trunk, back seat, stuff like that. Just to be smart. Um, get some Ozium, get some. Make sure you always got some cologne or some perfume on you. You know what I mean? Spray the car down. Don't just be hot boxing and not spraying no Ozium, because I know how the young folks is. I know how I used to do when I'm young. Sometimes I still like to get active, but make sure you got some car spray. Ride with the windows down. You know what I mean? I understand it. If you don't live in a home, if you don't have a garage, if you don't have a backyard, if you don't have homies that own a house, where are you gonna smoke? All right. We still don't have lounges. Obviously, you can go to the hookah lounge, you go to the club and stuff like that, but we don't have any dedicated spaces for just cannabis consumers, which is something that is needed. Bars, you still can't smoke at the bar, even if they say you can. Obviously, you can, right? Um, but again, just to be mindful of the laws that the state imposes on people, right? Like if you don't mind paying fines, crimes, you know, some of us got to worry about some things. I know some of y'all don't have to worry about the cops rolling up on y'all, because there's a lot of people that come out and be like, well, I was doing it. Well, some of y'all don't gotta. Y'all got the complexion for the protection. Everybody don't got the complexion for the protection. You know what I mean? So again, be mindful, be cognizant of your privilege. There's 11.8 million people in the state of Ohio. Over 2 point something million people voted for cannabis legalization. Some of us, I own a home, but a lot of people don't own homes in Ohio. The economy's crazy. You know what I mean? Some people got to smoke in their car because it's the only safe place they can smoke. Can't smoke in the balcony. Can't smoke in the park. So again, SB 56 really threw a wrench in a lot of people's game. Obviously, it took hemp products off the shelves. Hemp products are still supposed to be off the shelves. The hemp ban or this lawsuit only really goes towards hemp beverages in those 10 companies. I believe if they win the lawsuit, though, it will open up the floodgates for other hemp companies. So still doing research on that. Let's see, we have Happy Father's Day. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Happy Father's Day to all the stoner dads out there, man, that are still active, still getting it done, still present in their children's lives, because obviously we have a legislature that thinks that people can't be active and present human beings while consuming cannabis. But we can be active and present as alcoholics. We can be active and present as pill poppers, right? But can't do it on weed. So yeah, shout out to all the dads, man, all the fathers. Give yourself a break today too, man. Do something that you want to do. You know what I mean? I know a lot of men are iffy about, holidays, but make sure you take care of yourself. Pat yourself on the back. You know what I mean? It's not easy. I know being a father is not easy. Um, I got 3 babies. Me and my family, we've dealt with grief. We've lost a child. Um, so I know that there's a lot that goes into it as a father, as a parent, as a human being, navigating, um, you know, fatherhood, parenting, and just life in general. So, as fathers, it's a huge honor and a blessing for me. I know it can feel like a huge undertaking, but if you decided to go down that road, travel down that road, and you have a child, you got to take on that role. So that's one of the reasons I speak up in the cannabis space, though, because cannabis is more about lifestyle. Cannabis is more about economics, right? It's about wellness. It's about health. It's about prevention. It's about elevation. And so if I'm not willing to fight for a plant that, one, has greatly benefited my life, my mental, my physical, my spiritual, my emotional, but also I understand the economic benefits, I understand the environmental benefits. If I'm not willing to stand up for that, how can I really stand up for my kids, right? And that's a lot of people complain, but not really doing the work that can be really beneficial to their children farther down the line. You know what I mean? So I don't want my kids to have to fight for the same things that we're fighting for today. That makes no sense. right? I shouldn't be fighting for the same things that my dad had to fight for, that my granddad had to fight for. It was just basic human rights, basic human dignity. Like my granddad was growing weed. He's no longer with us on this earth, but how much I would love to be able to grow some weed with my granddad, roll it up and smoke it and potentially sell it. You know what I mean? But again, that's what I'm in the fight for. You know what I mean? For generational legacy building, community building, because again, this plant has been around for thousands of years. We shouldn't be having to do all this. You know what I mean? Like, and for me, it's insane. So I appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a short one today. I just wanted to get those headlines out the way. Um, we need to keep having more conversations too. I mean, there's especially in Ohio, like there's a few of us now on social media that have been doing more conversation around cannabis education, legislation, but we need more. We need more events consistently, right? Like cannabis is legal. We can have the conversations. I know a lot of people are afraid to talk about it for all of their different reasons, right? But I believe the most important thing that we can do right now is really come above ground, right? And educate our communities. Whether you are a grower and you want to teach other people how to grow, right? I know there's tons of growers and everybody, oh, I got my secrets. I got to gatekeep my secrets. And it's like, no, start small, start a co op, right? Like, I'm not a grower, right? I've never professed to be a grower. I've never professed to be somebody that sells weed. I'm an athlete. You know what I mean? I played sports at a very high level. I'm a model actor, so the camera stuff is easy for me. But I never was selling weed. You know what I mean? Like I could market, promote anything. So I understand there's a lot of value, obviously, in growing, being a home grower, having your own thing. But we need more cooperatives. So if you live in a community, start a co-op, right? Start a caregivers network. Ohio is a big state. I'm in Columbus. I can't be in Cleveland every day, every weekend. I can't be in Dayton. I can't be in Athens. I can't be all over the state. You know what I mean? And I'm not about to travel all over the state. So I'm gonna build where I'm at. I started Ohio Cannabis Report because I realized that it was much bigger than Columbus, but we need more people doing that work. Um, and spreading the message. There's a few people out in Cincinnati. Shout out to Pothead Genius. Shout out to um, Smoking Word Podcasts. Shout out to all the influencers who've been doing a lot of great work. Bree, um, Anthony put on a great event with the Ohio Cannabis Expo that I spoke at a couple weeks ago. Rodney Hash, Just a Vet, Mike. So there's been a lot of people online that have started to have more conversations for sure in Ohio. But we also need more like in-person events. And that's something that I want to work on more. But in-person events is I mean, events itself, period, is taxing. Um, especially when if you're dealing with some of these legal companies or you're dealing with people on the legacy market, right? Like pulling people together, it's a hassle, right? Getting event spaces. Um, but again, everything can't just be around smoking, right? We got to educate the community on just the bigger picture too. So I am planning another cannabis social equity forum. I'm also going to do an online forum probably for August. I'm planning a fundraiser, and then um, I'll probably try to hit up some more events too. I'm going to start printing out some more content to be able to disseminate information because a lot of people don't really know what's going on with the cannabis industry either because one, they can't market and advertise. So there's not a lot of information just coming out about cannabis products or services. But also there's just a lack of information, period, around the cannabis plant, right? Whether it's growing it, whether it's consuming it, policy wise, there's just a lot of information that is just not getting out there. So we're going to continue to try. I'm a legacy grower. Shout out to you, man. Shout out, I mean, and shout out to all the legacy growers, man. And again, like I try to tell people, like, you don't have to put all your, like, if you see people see me online and think, like, you don't have to put all your business out there. Nobody asking you to tell, like, I like to smoke weed. I like the way it make me feel. I'm a gardener. And now you can garden, like, as long as you within the 12 plant limit, right? You know what I mean? Don't sell the weed, donate it, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's terms, right? Unless you pushing pounds, you know what I mean? Like tons. Because now the state is selling tons of weed. You know what I mean? They're gonna be mad at you because they're not getting their tax money. But again, the complexion for the protection. Some of y'all got that protection. I've never showed any though. But yeah, I mean, most of my caregivers, they don't sell it to me. You know what I mean? So shout out to all my caregivers. But I'm always willing to donate. You know what I mean? Support your caregivers. Also, we don't have like delivery in Ohio, which, when you look at the legal market, I'm sure DoorDash is probably going to try to get in on it. But we still don't have delivery, which I think is, obviously something that hasn't really been discussed when it comes to the cannabis industry here. I feel like lately, but we definitely should have delivery at this point, right? We got the drive-throughs, so some places have drive-throughs where you can just pull up and go get your bud. I haven't been to a dispensary in a minute. I don't have any like non-OCAN dispensaries. So again, I'm boycotting OCAN, Ohio Cannabis Coalition companies, as much as I can, because they were partly in support of SB 56. Jared Maloof, who runs Standard Wellness, Andy Rayburn, who owns Amplified Dispensaries, and Buckeye Relief, came on a pod, or not on a podcast, but they were on like a forum and basically told the crowd that they should call the cops on anybody selling hemp, like intoxicating hemp. They said call the cops. Like, that's crazy. They basically told y'all to snitch while going to buy their weed that's overregulated, overpriced, and not even that good. And they voted for, and they supported SB 56. They supported the gutting of social equity, the gutting of Tier 3, the gutting of the hemp program. What else did they? Capping dispensaries at 400 for the state. So why would I support these businesses? And people need to stop supporting these businesses. I go on Reddit every day and somebody got pictures of OCAN products. Just, oh, look at this product. Or everybody looking for the deals. Stop shopping with these people. Because one, the money is not even going back into the community. How is it supposed to go back to the community? And I know some of y'all don't care. Oh, like, it's sketchy going to a drug dealer. I'm 36. I haven't had a sketchy interaction with my weed dealer since I was 18. Like, if y'all don't have enough people in y'all network that's not sketchy, like you ain't got to pull up to a back alley, then you need to re-examine life. I mean, I know some dealers, some plugs, I mean, you call them, they don't hit you back. You text them, they don't hit you back for a time on it. I hit multiple plugs up at one time. Whoever, and all of them pretty solid. So whoever hit me back first is gonna get my business. You know what I mean? Whoever. Last time, a couple days ago, hit up two of my plug. I hit up one plug. You're taking too long. You gotta hit the other plug. Other plug responds immediately. What you got? I got flavors. Okay. Now we don't do spray pack over here. Flavors, that just mean he had options. So I went with my guy. Then my other plug hit me up. Now the other plug always got some fire, always come through. Linked up at the bar. You know what I mean? I was feeling good. So I supported two local businesses, two local entrepreneurs. You gotta be a cool kid to be in the loop nowadays. Man, I'm not one of those. You know what I mean? I used to be the cool kid, you know what I mean? But I stay out the way. I don't have as much pull. Like I said, I've been in the house. Once they said COVID, like I'm still in COVID protocol half the time. You know what I mean? So Ohio Cannabis Report has definitely helped uh, with my network. But again, that's something that I've built, which again, I think, and I don't trust everybody. I can't trust everybody. I'm sure people don't trust me because they see me online, and people think what they think. Um, but again, like I'm all for community. I'm all for the home grower. I'm all for the legacy grower. Because at the end of the day, like when you see how these structures work, right, especially from like a high vantage point, high level, and you realize like people say, oh, trickle down does not work. That is not like the money is not trickling down to the lowest common denominator. The money is trickling down to here, right? The state got $1 billion from the opioid drug settlement, right? Where's that money? You got $1 billion that was supposed to go back into communities, back into families most impacted by the opioid epidemic, right? Where's that money? Anybody know? I do. Well, 600 million went to One Ohio Recovery Foundation. Do you know who's managing that money? That 600 million? BlackRock. BlackRock is managing the $600 million that is supposed to be disseminated to people, to Ohioans impacted by opioid epidemic. There's family members that have lost loved ones, right? There's family members who've had to put their family members in treatment, right? Just think about all of the things. That money's not going to Ohioans. That's trickle down, right? It's not trickling down. They put a nonprofit in the space, right? This is the state, $1 billion. Nonprofit, I think the nonprofit got like I want to say like 55% of the money. And then this nonprofit is supposed to manage this money, right? $600 million is being managed by BlackRock for investments, right? The state just did a deal with the One Ohio Recovery One Foundation for $20 million to do education around women in pregnancy and expecting mothers in cannabis. One, this organization has nothing to do with weed. It's supposed to be about opioids. You don't even do a campaign about opioids, cannabis being an alternative to opioids, cannabis being an alternative to alcohol for chronic pain, inflammation, stress, anxiety, depression. You're not even telling these people that there are way more ways to consume cannabis than just smoking it. But the first campaign that they're going to do is on smoking weed with pregnant women. Now, I get it. I don't think women should be smoking. I think smoke, obviously, if you get caught in a fire, that's going to be bad. But we should be educating the women on topicals, tinctures, CBD, CBG, CBN, right? Low dose, micro dosing, edibles, right? Oils. These people don't even know nothing about weed. But all of a sudden, we're going to put $20 million towards a campaign, an anti smoking campaign for Black women. So, but that's why people that have been growing, people on the legacy market, we have to become the educators. You can't just let these people, because intellectuals, this is what they do. They steal and they use big words and they use systems and they say, oh, well, I got a certificate in this. I got a degree in this. Bitch, where was you when it was illegal? So now that it's cool, now that you can create a career out of it, now you want to come over here and tell these people what to do? I got this girl I went to high school with, square, probably would have never touched weed, but now all of a sudden she getting a degree in weed. Kudos. But I just have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Because that they come in and they're the ones that set the agenda. They set the regulations. They talk shit about the people that don't want to follow the rules, how they set the rules, right? What are we seeing in Ohio's cannabis industry? A bunch of people have come into this industry that saw the benefit, saw the capitalistic benefit of weed, getting into the weed game, not because they've been here, not because they support the community, not because they support the culture. No, they saw money. They don't even smoke it. That's why they don't care about it. So they got into the industry, and to get into the industry, you already had to have money, right? You had to have 50K, 100K for the license. Then you had to have a million to 5 million to build out a cultivation facility, cash, a dispensary, cash, processing facility, cash. Who has that money cash? People who already got it, people who already got networks. So now you go lobby, you partner, you already in there. So then you want to create, like you said, monopoly. You want to create the monopoly because now you want to get all your money back before anybody else is able to get into the game. And so that's what they've done. They've kept out the legacy growers. They've gutted tier three. They gutted craft grow, basically, made it illegal again for anybody to benefit. All the hemp shops are shut down because people they selling hemp in the dispensaries. So, but again, it's time for people to wake up. You know what I mean? Like a closed mouth don't get fed. If everybody's always fighting crabs in the barrel mentality, you know what I mean? If you got, I just read the headline, 9 MSOs corroborated, they collaborated with each other. Think about that. Think about how crazy that sounds. You had 9 businesses that are supposed to be in competition with each other that were helping each other out. But you got poor people, you got working class people that be bickering and fighting, can't even get on the same page. Poor, poverty. But you got the 9 probably richest companies in the cannabis space in Ohio collaborating with each other, giving each other shelf space, giving each other discounts on products so that they could keep out the smaller brands. And people aren't mad about that. Like people should be fucking pissed. Why would you go buy Ascend, Cresco, A AYR? Why would you go buy any of these brands? But obviously, most people don't know. Most people don't. Let me see. You got Curaleaf, Green Thumb Industries, Juicy, Truly, Verano, Ascend Wellness, Cannabis. Like, why would you go to any of these companies and support them knowing that they are doing hella illegal shit to keep the prices high? That's crazy. But again, they keep the information low, right? So nobody knows. So people just keep head in the sky, head in the sand, just keep going. They don't care. Oh, just keep working harder, giving them more money. The money not even going back into the community. So capital injections equal who writes the rules. Yeah. I mean, and who's lobbying at the state house, right? So again, you have OCAN, which OCAN is a 501c6, which is a lobbying, they're able to lobby. And so the main companies that are in Ohio, a lot of them are a part of OCAN. I'm hearing that it costs like 20K to be a member of OCAN. 10K to 20K, I think. And OCAN goes to the state house and lobbies for those companies. They're not lobbying for the cannabis community. They're lobbying for the cannabis business community. They lobbied for SB 56, right? And so again, capitalism is, I mean, we're all in it, but which side are you going to be on, right? Are you going to fight the machine? Are you going to fight the agenda? Like you could use your money to fight the agenda, or you can use your money to be complicit with the agenda. Like you can use your voice, you can use your platform, you can create a platform. Today, in the day and age we got of social media, the internet, like there's no reason people don't have more. Like just use your platform. Like everybody's on the phone all day. Create an Instagram and talk about weed. Talk about Ohio weed. Talk about Ohio politics. Talk about the shit that's affecting you, and you never realize like how like when I started Ohio Cannabis Report, I didn't really know what this shit was going to turn out to be. I was just like, it was an idea. It was like nobody else is talking about politics in Ohio and cannabis right now. I ca- I physically can't own a company right now in terms of owning a business in the cannabis space. I don't grow weed. I'm not trying to grow weed. I know it's expensive. I know the overhead's crazy. I know the regulations is crazy. I know the licensing is crazy. So, one of the easiest things to do to get into the cannabis industry without having all this money was take my phone, take my computer, get YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, podcasts, ask people to come on the show. And now, we are, let me see where we at. We got 1,094 followers on my one Instagram page. Let me see what the OG page is. The OG page got 2,483 people on my OG. Oh, my bad. Boom. Let me see if I can get the blurry off real quick. Niggas hating for no reason. So Facebook been trying to lock me out of this one. I haven't been able to get into that one recently. But that was my first page, and then we built the backup. So the back one, like we up to 1,094 on the backup. Facebook. Let me see what the Facebook at. Facebook, we are at 420. I'm not on Facebook as much. And then we got YouTube. Our YouTube, we're up to 417 subs. So again, like this is all stuff that I just built from scratch. Like I don't put a ton of money into this outside of time, right? Energy, research, obviously. Um, but for me, it was something that one, it gave me something to do during COVID. It was a creative outlet. It got me connected with different people, helped me build community, helped me talk about something that I'm passionate about. And I started with athletes in cannabis first. So I was originally doing athletes in cannabis, and then we legalized medical, and then I started talking about Ohio cannabis. So I left the athletes in cannabis, put that on the side because I was doing a podcast, I was doing shows for that too, which again I'm going to go back to because it's a little bit easier. I feel like athletes in cannabis is a little bit easier than you dealing with people in Ohio, and everybody got a sports. You can't tell me shit about like I did it. But Ohio, you got everybody that has their own little thing that like use your privilege, okay? I use mine. I got athlete privilege. I use my athlete privilege. But I started talking about Ohio cannabis because I was like, Ohio's a big state. Ohio's an important state. Cannabis is agriculture. My nonprofit focuses on agriculture. So why wouldn't I talk about cannabis, agriculture, economy, lifestyle, prohibition, the war on drugs? Like there's just so many different tentacles, right? Policy, culture, music, hip hop, it's just fashion. You can talk about anything in cannabis, really. Like cannabis really sits at the intersection of life. So that's kind of my thing is like getting people more comfortable just having the conversation around cannabis. Like nobody's telling you got to come on and have a pound of weed on the cameras, rolling up joints every other second, smoking. Like no, like I smoked before I got in the house. You know what I mean? Like I'm chilling right now, but everything don't have to have, every weed conversation does not have to have like weed, right? Or every, let's say, conference, you don't have to have like everything doesn't have to be a smoke session. For sure, Have some space for people to go consume. For sure, have people there that might have the goods on them. But everything, like, we have to learn how to integrate it into society, how we already do. Like, we smoke and we go places. Or if we go into the concert, we might roll a couple joints. We gonna smoke at the concert, or I might eat an edible. Like, can we just act like adults and stop letting these loser politicians and loser, cannabis business people run the show? Because that's what's happening right now. What's good, Reggie? Reggie Keefe. It isn't so easy to create an IG. It isn't so easy to create. Why the fuck isn't it? All you need is an email address. I have like 7 Instagrams. It's not easy because you got to put work in. These are all the Instagrams that I'm managing right now. I got my personal, I got Columbus Creates, I got my nonprofit, I got a GMO Cannabis one that I just started, 2 Ohio Cannabis Reports. Yes, creating content is not easy. Yes, putting yourself out there is not easy. But there's so many different ways. Like, you can do faceless. Like, if you like education, you can literally go on Canva and create, you know, content on there. Like, there's tons of different, I mean, AI now, you got so many different ways to create different levels of content to share with people. Haters hate for barely anything and get you not having an IG account. BRB maybe. Cool. Appreciate you tapping in. I'll be on this. That's it. I'm cool on social media. I just never liked it. For sure, I feel you. I'm a millennial, man. So I grew up without it. I was on Facebook when it was just kids on Facebook. I don't like social media, what it has turned into, but you have to learn how to use the tool, right? Everybody gets their own little personality about the tool. It's a tool, it's a resource. How you choose to use it is up to you, right? So if you choose to just get sucked into Instagram and just scroll, doom scroll all day, like, that's what you're using it for. I use social media for the purposes that I want to use it for, which is typically disseminating information. If I want to share lifestyle stuff about me and my family or whatever, or business or something I'm doing. But social media, you have to look at social media and think of it as like YouTube or like the TV, right? If you're a business person, you leverage it to showcase you, your personality, and your business, right? Or what you're trying to market or educate. So, Ohio Cannabis Report, it's not really for me. It's really to disseminate information, right? It's to take clips if I'm on a podcast and put that out in short form, right? If I have an event, it's a great place to market that event to people who already follow me, who may already be looking for stuff like that. So, uh, you know, Facebook, I don't really use Facebook as much. Facebook is like family stuff, but also I do use Facebook for events to get information out there. So again, it's really how you use it. I mean, it's tough. You know what I mean? Everybody has a different relationship with it. Um, I look at social media, like, I don't get caught up on social media. Like, people, oh, I'm not getting enough likes, or I'm not getting enough comments, or I don't have enough followers. How you gonna have followers when you start with nothing? And then people just expect to have followers. Like, who are you? You're not a celebrity. Like, people aren't just gonna follow you because you're Kevin Durant. You're not Kevin Durant. You have to become interesting, right? You have to show some form of value to actually get or be entertaining, right? And so people just expect people, oh, I posted this and nobody liked it, or I posted this and my family didn't support it. That's not how it works, right? You have to build something. Like, it's just like anything else. So I think too many people get caught up in like the followers and influence, and too many people are trying to just profit off of it without understanding that it's a marketing platform. People may not necessarily purchase from you right then and there, right? But people are following, people are watching, right? And those people that are watching and following might potentially turn into a client, right? There are so many people that, oh, I follow you on Facebook, I follow you on Instagram, I follow you on so and so. So I build value first. Too many people are trying to just sell first, right? They're just trying to sell themselves. Like, no, build value first, right? And then you sell, right? Build value and then you say, hey, I'm having this event. Build value first and then say, oh, I'm dropping this t-shirt or I'm dropping this course or I'm dropping this book. A lot of people just expect to get the support immediately. And then they expect their family and friends to support. And it's like most family and friends, like when you, especially if you're doing something different that most people that you know might not expect from you, they might not necessarily support you like that because they see you as the person. Like for me, I played football, Division 1, All American, tried out for the NFL, got cut. People supported me because I was an athlete. Now people will still support me because I'm an athlete because I've achieved a high level of success that most people in sports never achieve. So I have created value in just being a good athlete, being able to turn that into then now the same thing I'm doing with Ohio Cannabis Report is just building value in this space and saying, well, guess what? I'm gonna go to the state house. I'm gonna cover state politics when it comes to cannabis. I'm gonna cover the businesses and what's going on in the business landscape in the cannabis industry. I'm gonna cover what's going on the ground floor, grassroots, with community, with people, with home growers, with cannabis patients, with all sorts of people. So I'm building value, right? I don't go to social media for like the validation of like, oh, I got 1 million followers. I don't like the follower. I don't like this shit either. That's the thing. People think, "Oh, like you're so good on internet and social media." I don't like it. I didn't want to do it. I just saw a lane that nobody else was willing to do. So that's it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes you got to do things that are uncomfortable, right? So for me, it was like I can build an entire network. I can build an entire media network just off of Ohio Cannabis Report alone. Podcasts, events, forums. We can come up with our own cannabis brand at some point. We could do merchandise. We can do, so many different things. So that was my thinking when it came to like social media. But I don't necessarily like the social media stuff. Like I had 10,000 followers on my Instagram post trying out for the NFL. And I deleted that Instagram because most people that were following me on the Instagram were only following me because of football. I don't even like the Ohio Cannabis Sports stuff because people follow me on there and think they know me. Like, or they want to combat my reality. Well, white people are poor too. Okay, I'm not white, so I don't know what it's like to be poor and white. Like, that's got to be crazy because I see it a lot in Ohio, but they be poor, white, and racist. So I can't really help you. You know what I mean? But I created something out of thin air. You can do the same. Like, we're living in a day and age where too many people are like, well, nobody's giving me an opportunity. Well, nobody's hiring. Well, there's no work to create the job, create the opportunity. Like, there's too many people complaining, and it's just like, there's trash on the ground. Pick it up. They're giving trash men $100,000 to to work for Rumkey. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people just don't want to do the dirty work. A lot of people don't want to do the groundwork. A lot of people don't want to be embarrassed. A lot of people want to get into something that's already moving, flowing, got shit going. It's way easier. I get it. But then don't complain when you don't get equity in the company. Don't complain when you're getting bare minimum. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to do things. A lot of people just don't want to do the hard work. A lot of people don't want to be isolated. I like being isolated, but I also realize there's value in information. There's value in community. There's value in the cannabis industry being new. You know what I mean? But the fact that people in the cannabis industry are just allowing these people to punk everybody is crazy and just stay silent. I just was refusing to stay silent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we should be staying silent at all, especially not in 2026, especially not with the president that we got, especially not with the GOP politicians that we have in Ohio. You know what I mean? So again, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, you know, a lot of people are complacent. A lot of people are losers. A lot of people got a lot of stuff to say behind the scenes. A lot of people got a lot of stuff to say and they don't show their face, but then want to complain, but then don't want to do the hard work. You don't want to go to the state house and confront the politicians. You don't want to go have a meeting with the politicians. You're not writing the emails. You're not calling state representatives. You're not keeping city council officials accountable. You're not keeping these business leaders accountable. But then you complain when they fuck you. Show up. You know what I mean? They work for you. They're supposed to. But right now, the politicians work for whoever pays them, right? Oh, well, my taxes. No, they're working for the businessmen, the lobbyists, the investors, the people that give them the $1,000 check at the fundraiser, the people that invite them to the country club and get them drunk, the people that invite them out to whatever business event. It's like most of these politicians are losers. The majority of the politicians and the business leaders are losers. They've never been punched in the mouth. Most of them are trust fund babies. Most of them have been given a very rosy road. Like they haven't really had to compete for much. That's why they don't like competition. That's why 9 MSOs are collaborating with each other. So, again, everybody has choices and decisions to make. And it's easy to take the easy road. I know people don't like me. I don't give a damn. My kids don't like me some days. My wife don't like me someday. Like, I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to make people feel good. Like, that's not why God put me here. God put me on a mission to do what I was supposed to do. And a lot of people is missing out on their life's mission because they're so worried about what other people might think, say, or do about them. Why would I care what anybody got to say about me, especially if I don't know you? I have a loving family. I got my dad, my mom, I got 10 brothers and sisters. I got cousins. I got aunties. I got uncles. I got real friends in real life. Social media, guess what? You could say something to me on here, and guess what? You can say something to me on here, blocked. You can say something to me on reported. Like if you in my comments talking crazy, I'm blocking you. Like, why are you following me? Because I don't give a fuck. And more people, that's the thing about smoking weed. It's supposed to not make you're supposed to make you not give a fuck. When I'm high, I don't give a fuck. So that's just the type of time I be on. But I wasn't even supposed to be on here that long. But sometimes I just be on my little shit. But but yeah, make sure y'all hit me up. The email's down at the bottom of the screen, ohiocannabisreport@gmail.com. If you guys do want to support, we do have a Cash App. So we always accept donations, Cash App, Ohio Cannabis Report, OCR Media. I got to get a website up. That's my next goal, is to get our website. Do have some merch. We got some t-shirts. And like I said, we will be doing more events and stuff like that. So like I said, I do this all from, I got my laptop, I got Zoom, or this is not Zoom, this is StreamYard. So we just use StreamYard. I do got to get the updated software for StreamYard because we did have it for a minute so I could stream to multiple channels. Might start doing more live stuff on like Kick too. I don't have Kick or what's the other one? Twitch. So I heard you could smoke on Kick and Twitch, so I might get on those. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody's support, following. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, what content you guys want to talk about. If you have events throughout the state, we get people hitting us up all the time on Instagram, inviting us to different events. There's been a couple events out in Cleveland, Cincinnati. Like I said, I can't reach everybody, but I am looking for people that are in those cities. That if you want to go to events, we often get hit up, so we get free invitations. If you want to do some media stuff, if you want to do some reporting with us, if you're a college student looking for an internship, we're always looking for different opportunities to just help elevate the community. I'm looking for like people more so comms, journalism, or I mean, you don't even have to be in college, but if you're, interested in communications, public relations, event production, content creation, social media content, social media management, um, always looking for different people to put on the team to help us obviously expand and grow. So you can always hit me up on our emails. You can direct message me on Instagram. I'm Gerald Moore Jr. I'm the founder, host of Ohio Cannabis Report. It's been good. I'm about to get some rest. Peace.